The industry has been changed so far.
Customers today are extremely demanding.
Customer experience has become a product of itself.
They expect banking services to be like Swiggy and Uber.
Banking cannot catch up with the customer experience better than that, then everyone will leave.
They decided to launch a completely new bank catering to these millennials. It has a completely different customer experience. It is so financial services are embedded within an experience around social, around a completely different value proposition, while we deliver that supported on the same core elements and core capabilities we have in our main banks.
See, RBL's bank's existence depends on APIs. We integrate a lot with partners and channels, and there Finacle has been able to help us with this continued progression on APIs. We were one of the first banks to adopt it, so in many cases Finacle was helping us do it for the first time in India.
Penang is the product of digital lending. We are the first bank that given the license by the regulators in Indonesia to provide digital loans for ultra micros and micro customers in Indonesia. Penang is very straightforward process, I think, and it has three folds of benefits for customers. One is the faster process, which is less than 10 minutes. You can get the money disbursed to your bank account, and the cheaper price of interest rates in the market, but also that's the safest process in the market.
Finacle's robust API framework allows us to effectively implement open banking and easily collaborate with the external ecosystem.
What we're now looking at doing is saying, well, look, let's move potentially to your new architecture, your DEH, as I understand it, to see how potentially that could work, how we could bring a whole channel experience into something that's much more open source, much more able to integrate with a range of things that we want to do, not just in the consumer space, but also particularly being the largest SME bank in the country, our desire to build ecosystems and so forth. We think it's time to move that to the next level.
We need to change the core banking system. If you don't change the system, growth is going to be hindered.
The only way to do that is by using high technology.
So having good, stable, simple experiences that help our customers interact and transact.
For our project would be a key factor to the success of the project. We run an RFP process with the main IT providers that we knew, and the main criteria center around 4 points. The quality of the products that were offered to us, the ability to understand what we're actually looking for, the scalability of the solution that we were going to work with, and the ease of working with our internal teams to make sure that everything could be brought together.
DBS has been partners with Infosys and Finacle for more than 10 years. Finacle is definitely a core part of our architecture. And as the bank grows to become more and more digital and to actually tackle new business model, it is important for us that Finacle evolve at the same pace in the same direction as where we are going. So in that sense, the architecture pattern, the product capabilities, the agility of the teams, as well as the user friendliness of the UI, those are all key part of what Finacle brings to DBS, and it is in our interest that we kept in sync the agenda of the bank and the priorities of the bank with Finacle.
We were on another vendor system, but it was pretty old and nobody had changed it. And since ABK had plans to grow, they realized that if you don't change the system, growth is going to be hindered. So we set off on this journey, and as usual, we looked at all the players. Finally, we chose Finacle. I think the principal reason we chose Finacle was that right from the beginning, they were very forthcoming, they were very clear that they would meet our objectives, and I think the commitment they showed throughout was was one of the important factors which really drew us to them.
key to the success of the ARC was the ability to integrate that new experience to the Finacle core banking platform. Without Finacle's ability to integrate at that level, we would not have been able to deliver the new experience that the ARC is now.
When we first started engaging with Finacle, we were a tiny bank. But the company has never treated us as a tiny bank worthy of only small amounts of attention. They've always been very cooperative at all levels, and that is a very valuable thing to have in a partner. You want a partner that, that doesn't say that my relationship with you is proportional to the amount of dollars I spend. And there Finacle has been very good, has been outstanding. It's not, we've been getting support and attention from Finacle when we want it, regardless of the fact that we are a small or a large bank. And it's, that alone is probably worth more than any engineering solution quality.
The internet and mobile banking applications have transformed our customer experience from a brick bank to a click bank.
The new digital platform has enabled us to provide a seamless and personalized customer experience across channels, devices, and touchpoints.
The highlight has been the senior level engagement from both Finacle and Bank Muscat, and I think the reliability, support, the reliability of the system as well as the support that we get from Infosys and the Finacle team is excellent, and that's really what keeps the partnership going.
Being able to learn from what Infosys has also learned with other customers and really develop Finacle, our core system, and over time in a way that is win-win for both. That relationship has been a very fruitful relationship. There is close cooperation, close relationship between Finacle and Infosys and the Finacle team and ENBD. And we see that that has been a core asset of ours as we are now doing this step change in our architecture and IT transformation.